This is the RetroTech 120p challenge, where if you join the group you can play arcade games on a weekly basis and see how far you get with those 2 credits that you may put into the machine. And we're playing Robocop, just walking past either a brothel or a hairdresser's there. Of course, Data East Robocop, a classic game. The basis, I wouldn't say it's the direct adaptation, but the basis from which the Ocean games came from. He's got a very cowboy-esque walk, Robocop here. Classic game, classic movie. What's not to like? I'll tell you what's not to like. That chicken sign. So you want a proper dystopian future. Those chickens look like they've been bred just for their meat. So they've taken off their heads, their feathers, their wings. Oh, it's gross. And it looks like they run the restaurant. Chickens. Oh, can you imagine we're going in there and they're just walking on your feet and that. I feel a bit sick. Ugh. I should have put that in the film. Chicken's restaurant with the mutant bred chickens. Just coming up to a shop that sells Cine televisions, and you'll see how short some of the levels on this game are, because we're about to encounter the first boss already, and it's Edward 209, the 209th of his name, and he's clearly had a falling out with Robocop, possibly because Robocop is going down to the shops without buying a COVID mask. But then if Robocop wore a COVID mask, of course you wouldn't be able to tell that he was a robo at all, or a human at all. Got to get that line right. But that was his own choice, wasn't it? He could have called himself Cyborg Cop. Then people would know he was human. But if he puts a COVID mask on, of course you won't see the fleshy bit. And that's the first level done. As I say, short first level. But then I suppose with these arcade games, the shorter the levels, the punchier they are. I think we've all got good memories. I think if you're a child of the 70s or 80s, even 90s, I think everyone loves Robocop. You love it as a kid, even though you shouldn't be watching it because it's really, really violent. For the fact it's got a robot cop in it and he blows people up, and it's violent. And then I think you like it as an adult because you see how clever the messaging in the movie is. How the future capitalist society has bred this horrendous company that runs the city. I always liked 80s goons in 80s arcade games. They always showed off their upper arms. Quick stop to look at that stairwell where they've broken the banister off. It's not because of degradation, it's because if you looked at that top banister there, it went straight into the wall. So we were built... Data East not big on details of their world, are they? Yeah, no shirt sleeves banned in futuristic Detroit. A beret. A classier kind of villain, that guy in the window. That man's really terrible at throwing grenades. He's quite lucky he didn't hit himself there. The chainsaw guys, by the way, complete dicks. They will sap your health. And of course motorbike people in 80s arcade games, also arseholes. I think we all remember things like the motorbike guys in Renegade on the Spectrum, or the motorbike guys in Streets of Rage 2 and things like that. They're always the worst. Really hard to hit. I say that, the chainsaw guys do have sleeves. They're better prepared for winter. There were a lot of people with Jason Voorhees masks, weren't there, in the 80s? in the arcade games, not in real life. I don't think I ever saw anyone wearing a hockey mask down the Tunbridge Wells High Street. Here's a little bonus game where you can get back some of your health. I always feel that when I play this, if I don't get 100%, I've failed as a Robocop, because Robocop wouldn't miss any of these, would he? Nice bit of variety though. I think it's good to break it up a bit. They didn't break it up as much as the Ocean conversions. I think, if I'm being honest, the Ocean one, I think the Spectrum Ocean game, I prefer it to this. And it's not often I say that about arcade games, because obviously the arcade's so much more powerful and better. But I think the variety in the Spectrum game, I think there's a lot more to it. This Data East version is very light, but sort of say it's bad. I think it's still a very good arcade machine. So to the junkyard then, where people are criminally taking hubcaps, I'm guessing, stealing rubbish. Whoever's operating that machine, I don't think they know what they're doing. Maybe it's the work experience boy. The guy who's throwing that grenade though, fair play to him, he's a lot better than his mates. You didn't even see him. I'm just going to put it out there now, this junkyard would not pass a risk assessment. There's a lot of work to do here. And that's the end of my adventure. Yes, all that health I got sapped away by that crushing machine that I couldn't be bothered to wait for. I could have got a bit further, but I did not. So up to round 3, I've already lost the challenge, but never mind. It's all about the taking part. Please join the RetroTech 100 group and join in, and you can push me even further down the list of participants. Okay, thanks and bye.